Hi, this is Jeff with Green Fuel H2O. Today I wanted to do a video on how to install a 30 or 40 plate generator and hook up all the electrical components for that. So this is going to be the electrical side. One of the first things you'll want to do is decide where you're going to place the generator itself and the components. These can go anywhere under the hood. The generator itself, some of the most important aspects of where you're going to want to put that is it needs to be below where the water tank is going to be, because the water is gravity fed into the generator. Also, you don't want it by anything hot, heat source, like right near the engine. So you'll want to decide where you want to put that, and then you can decide where you want to place these components in between these two. So the very first thing is you're going to, once you've decided where these are, and these components can be attached too. You've got spots where you can screw these down under the hood. Make sure you do that, again, in areas that aren't hot, or where you might do some damage if you were to screw that into a wall, or just be careful as you're doing that. So you're going to go from the positive on the battery, the positive terminal. You're going to hook this connector to the wire. Make sure when you connect that you use a tool that's going to be able to clamp that on really tight. You don't want that to be a loose connection. What we use is this right here. We put it right in here, and then we clamp that down nice and tight, so we make a good tight connection. When you're making all these connections, you want to make sure they're nice and tight so they don't heat up. So you're going to connect the wire to this connector. This gets connected to the terminal post. Then the wire goes here. This is a 60 amp breaker. So if there's ever a surge, this breaker will switch. It'll look like that. That means that it's not getting power. You just push that back up and make the connection. So in the event there is a surge, that might, and your system isn't running, that might be the reason why. You can just push that back up. Then you take another positive red line wire, the big wire, and you run it down to this. This is the 12-volt solenoid relay switch. So the positive goes into one side, and you want to, again, connect it the same way. And then a large positive wire comes out the other side, and this large wire goes to the positive on your generator. Then you're going to take the negative wire that we send you, hook it up on this negative terminal, and then it flows out, comes out here, and you just connect that anywhere to the frame of the truck or car. Just make sure that it doesn't have any paint, that you scrape it so it is metal to metal contact, and just ground that right to the frame of your vehicle. This is a new component that we've added. This is a low voltage component. What this does is it monitors the amount of voltage that's being put out, and if it goes too low, it shuts off. So it's a switch. It turns the system off. So if it will be connected to your battery, and your battery does not provide enough power to make this switch turn on. So if it's just your battery providing power and there's nothing coming from the car is not running or the truck is not running, then this switches off, which means you're not producing gas while your vehicle is off. So it's a safety feature. Don't ever move any of these. We glue these into place. You don't ever want to flip that to on. Otherwise, it will just run all the time, and you do not want that to happen. So we glue that into place, and then this is the wiring. We do also have this switch. If you ever want to just turn the system off for whatever reason, you just flip that switch. You can place that anywhere close to this. It can even just hang there if you want. It's lightweight, and if you ever want to turn the system off, you can just turn that switch and it'll turn the whole thing off. So you have a positive line that comes from the top post, and it comes down and comes to this solenoid switch. And then you have another positive that comes from there, from the switch, and you put it into this hole right there and tighten that down. Then you have the negative that comes off of the switch, and it comes down into this right hole right there, the second to the right, the negative, and you tighten that down. Then you're going to loop from the negative to the negative with a loop, and then it goes from this negative over to the solenoid, and then from the solenoid you ground that to the frame. So if you just follow that, almost like a river or a road map, that's how that's hooked up. We've got some still shots that we send out so you can see that as well, and that we're hoping will simplify the whole system in setting it up. In our prior videos, we would have you put this underneath the dash. You'd run these smaller wires through the firewall. You'd drill a hole into your dash under your dash. You could mount that. That complicates it a little bit. If you'd like to do that, you still can. But if you want to just simply have this be just close to this unit, that's fine as well. Simply because we don't think there will be an occasion very often for you to turn it off. But in the event you do want to, that is an option for you. I hope this was helpful, and let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.